sorry, G, C, E, A. Our open notes, our lesson 1 is going to be a reiteration of what we left off on. We're going to be doing spider exercises. The point of this purpose in the exercise is to keep our fingers on the fretboard in the middle of the frets, not on the metal, but on the actual fret, not the fretting. And then to be able to keep our fingers close to the fretboard. So when we play a flat or a G sharp on the first fret here, and we play with our first finger over here, we leave that finger on the first fret. We don't have to push down as hard, but when we put the second finger down, we don't take this finger and swing it off into Nowheresville. We keep it very centered. The reason why is when we start moving up the fretboard, it's much easier to pull our hand down to boop right there than it is to be up here and then have to bring our fingers back onto the fretboard. The way I explain this too, it's like this. With doing these spider exercises, by the time you get done with this exercise, you can stop your finger on the 3rd fret here for the C major. If you play a C major with these 2 fingers, it's much easier to put your whole hand down here for a F major, a D minor. But if you have this finger on here, you have to actually go over 2 more frets. Therefore, it's costing you time to do chord changes. So what I'm doing is lining you up with the great footing to be able to play these chords and then have your fingers fall where they naturally should. Let's check this out. Play a F major by going 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. When you put your finger down on the F and then lay your second finger down on the A major, it makes sense. So the chords we're working on today are going to be the F major, the C major, and the G major. What I'd like you to do is play each one of those chords in a secondary fingering position, meaning the C is an easy one because we've got C, 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 C. Notice how I'm using all of my different digits, 1, 2, 3, and 4, to play the C note on the C chord. What happens is if we were to have a C major that plays like this, we'd be able to play our C, our E, and our G, which makes our major triad. 1, 3, 5. Each chord has tones in it. Those 3 tones are the C, E, and the G. When we play those, we've got C, D, E, F, G. When I flatten that E to an E flat, I get a E minor. When I sharpen that E flat, I get a C major. So what we have here is the C, the G, the E, and then a repetition of the C. So what we learned today was this chord, the A major, played in its secondary fingering, can be scooted up to make a B flat major, B major, C major. And this C major, the exact same. Why? Because they use both the C, E, G, that major triad to form it. So the chord we're going to be using that with is like this. We're going to be taking our hand, playing the C major bar chord, and playing 1, 2, 3, 4. On the 1, we're going to attack the chords, the fretboard. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 2, 3, 4. With the fingernails on the back of your fingers, you're going to want to attack the fretboard on the 1. Right? So what we want to do once we get comfortable playing in 4/4 is to play the same chord in a different fingering position. Meaning, see how this pinky's not on the fretboard? I'm going to take my first finger off. I'm going to put my second finger over those 2 notes that I was holding down with my first finger. And then I'm going to play that A major shape in my 3rd fingering position. So A major first fingering, A major second fingering, A major 3rd fingering. If I move that up to right here and then bar that, I get a C major, C major, C major. Same as doing this. We're just putting different fingers on difference. So do that with the F major as well. Put our first finger on the 1st fret on the F note, put our second finger on the 2nd fret on the high G string for the A note. We're going to be getting a F major. What we're going to do is we're going to establish 4/4 by playing and actually tapping our leg with our hand whilst we go down, giving inflection to only the first beat. Ready with me? 1, 2, strum down on the 1, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 2, 3, 4, 3, 4, Now that we got the rhythm into that, let's try and switch between our Fs. Take our first finger off the fretboard, put our second finger that was on the A over to the F, and then put our third finger on the fretboard to give you the same chord, but two different ways to play it. So what the exercise is, it will have you do 1, 2, 3, 4, switch, 2, 2, 3, 4, switch. Here's the fun of it. You don't have to wait the other 3 beats inside 1, 2, 3, 4 to switch your left hand. So it should look like this. Attack, switch. Attack, switch. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, switch, 2, 3, 4. 1, switch, 2, 3, 4, 1. What this does, it teaches you to move your fingers back and forth without having to correlate between your right hand. The left side of your brain's telling your right hand to stay in rhythm, 4/4, keep going on that inflection on the 1, and then the right side of your brain's telling your left hand to switch those chords while not messing up the rhythm of this other hand. If you go slow enough at about 50, 60, 70 beats per minute, which should be something like, that's a little fast. It'll be like, you will be able to play 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 2, 3, 4. And then you subdivide that into 2/4. So you've got 2 beats. 1, switch, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1. Then you do quarters. It's on every one of them. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and then eighth notes if you actually can get that. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 9. Long story short, you do those every morning and you keep playing these chords with different fingerings. We were going to be able to knock these out and be playing chords in no time. So lesson 2, play the C major in all your different fingerings, starting with 4/4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 2, 3, 4, 3, 2, 3, 4, 4, 2, 3, 4, 1. See how I went through all of them? Wholes, halves, and quarters. Next is the F. 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Remember to switch right after attacking. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Do that with the G as well. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Every day, 5 minutes in the morning, 5 minutes at night. That's how you get great at the chords. That's lesson 2. Lesson 1. Make sure you keep your fingers next to the fretboard and make sure that once you get through the whole strain, you move from your first finger to your second finger. Keep going through these every day for 5 minutes in the morning, 5 minutes at night. Next time we see, we're going to be rocking through this. Candy, it was so good to see you. I hope you got that invoice. If not, I'll check back later in the week. Anyway, it's good seeing you. I'll see you next time. And I also left you a message wondering if we could change June 5th, your 10 o'clock, which is your next lesson, to an 11:45 rather than a 10 o'clock. Tell me if that works out for you. I hope it does. Anywho, aloha.